for our strength training, just like the first leg workout A, for this month we're going to be working a 4-exercise strength training circuit. So what that means is we're going to have 4 exercises that we're going to be working. We're going to work them we're going to be aiming for 2 to 3 sets, and we're going to be aiming for 8 to 10 reps. And I mentioned this in the first video, but when we talk about 8 to 10 reps, what we're looking for there is in the first week, I want you to find a weight that is a challenge for 2 to 3 sets of 8 reps. I want you to make sure that that 8th rep is a good rep, but also the last one that you could do well. And that can be tough at first to find, so you can warm up into it. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself though. And then what we want to do in the following weeks is start to take that 8 rep weight and work it enough that it starts to become our 9 and 10 rep weight. So if in week 1 we're doing 8 reps, so let's just say we'll pull up one of our exercises here. We got our cyclist lunges. And here you see Matt doing his double kettlebell cyclist lunge, which is one of the more challenging variations of this squat as well. But if Matt's starting here and it looks like maybe he's got some 35s or 40s, I know Matt usually he can work 40s or 50s here as well. And he gets 3 sets of 8 reps. And in the first week, he's only going to probably get about 2 sets. We might have time for 3. In week 2, I'd like to see him try to get a set and maybe he gets to 9 reps. Maybe, maybe not. We can't force the adaptation, but theoretically speaking, we'd like to see that weight start to become a weight that he can do 9 or 10 reps. And then when he can do it for 9 or 10 reps, especially when he can do it for 3 sets of 9 or 10 reps, we can take that weight up a little bit more and go back down to 8 reps. So we're always going to come back to that 8 rep range and try to build it up again. Now, there's nothing special. 8, 9, or 10, those aren't magic numbers. But we do find that the adaptation there is that you are probably going to gain, maybe you can put on a little bit of lean muscle mass, but it also is a rep range that we do feel a little bit of that cardiovascular effect of it as well, and it gives us plenty of reps to practice. But for some people, 8's going to be great, 9's going to be great, 10's going to be great. We want to have that range so we can keep working through there. So you're going to build into it. So for our 4 exercises, we have our cyclist squats here, letting those knees go out over the toes, torso nice and upright, sitting as low as you feel comfortable on this one. It's a deep breath in on the way down, pushing that air as you drive up. Again, 8 to 10 reps here. If you can do 10, take the weight up on the next set. The second exercise we're going to show you is our chin-ups. Now, for our circuit, we are going to be working, we want to be alternating between the upper body and lower body exercises. So as I'm showing you these, you don't have to work them in this order, but I'll come back to that in a second and talk about how you can change the order up as well. So for our chin-ups, we can do that chin-up grip with your palms facing you. You're going to feel a little stronger here. You're going to use those biceps a little bit more. You can also work that pull-up grip, which I'm working at the beginning of this video. For this one, you're not going to feel as strong, but it's usually going to be a little bit easier on your elbows. So that's up to you. I use the generic term chin-up, or I use the term chin-up generically for both of them. But sometimes we would call the pronated grip palms facing away if you're going to pull up. It just depends on how you feel, how comfortable you feel with either one. But again, we want to find a level of assistance or resistance that we can do 8 challenging reps, but still do those 8 reps well, and then build up to 10 reps here. The third exercise, I'm already skipping one. I'm sure you all wish I did skip this one, but we have our walking lunges. So for this one, we're thinking about moving forward here. So you take that step forward. Now you notice as I'm dropping down, I'm leaning slightly forward as well. I'm looking for that line from my shoulder through my hips and my knees of that back leg. And I want to feel like I'm driving forward on that front leg as I'm working, squeezing that back glute, taking a deep breath in. I'm holding 2 kettlebells here at my side, so I'm going to keep those shoulders back, big proud chest, and I'm pushing all that air as I drive up, thinking about crushing a soda can with that front heel as you drive up on these lunges. Now, you can also start with body weight on these. You can put a weight vest on, but we're thinking about, we're going to do 8 to 10 on each side. So it's not just the length of the floor. You'll do 8 down, 8 back, or maybe you have to mix it up. Depends on how much distance you are getting on your lunges. But we're going to do 8 to 10 on each side. If you haven't done these, or you're still not sure about the weight, I suggest start with body weight. And especially in that first set, remember the first week we're kind of learning some things and figuring some things out. So you don't have to start with weight if you just want to work on the movement pattern. If these are an issue for any reason, you can work your split squats. You can also use the TRX and work TRX assisted lunges, whatever you can do well. So we'll work on these. I think they're an awesome exercise. They really will zap those glutes and your legs as well. So you get a good feeling out of them as well. That's why it's also nice to start a little bit lighter and see how you're feeling the next couple days after working these as well. And then our last exercise is our landmine half kneeling overhead presses. So we use those landmine bars, squeezing that back glute nice and tight, starting with that ear over that shoulder, hip, and knee. And notice at the top, I'm also getting a bit, it looks like a rotation. What I'm doing is actually reaching as far as I can with that arm as I'm pressing up here. So it's going to be 8 on one arm, switch that knee, switch that arm, 8 on the other here. This is going to typically be a little bit lighter than what you could do for like a strict overhead press. So start a little bit lighter on that first set and find out how many reps you can do, and then we can estimate if we need to take the weight up on these as well. But I would say, yeah, for most people, you're going to be strong enough to do more than the bar for just 8 reps. But you never know. Again, day to day, everybody's going to be feeling a little bit different. So we're working 8 of those. Now, I'll show you the exercises. We have our cyclist squats, our chin-ups, our walking lunges, and our half-kneeling overhead presses. Like I said earlier, you can do them, you can start with whichever exercise you want to start with. When it comes to the order though, you just want to alternate between your upper body and lower body exercises as you work this circuit. So let's say you don't want to start with chin-ups, maybe you want to start with the walking lunges because you want to get them out the way. Do your walking lunges, then you can either go to the chin-ups or the landmine overhead press because we have a lower body exercise, the walking lunges. Then we go to their upper body with those overhead presses, let's say. Then you would go back to the lower body for those cyclist squats, then finish up with those chin-ups, and that's how you can work it. So you can mix that order up, but you want to alternate. And the reason why is because let's say you do your cyclist squats first. Now you have to give yourself 60 seconds or so to recover before you go to your chin-ups. Then you do your chin-ups, you give yourself another 60 seconds before you start your walking lunges. You've now given your lower body 2 minutes to recover instead of just 60 seconds or so. And it's going to use that time to build up some energy so that you are also able to focus on those reps without being too tired from just doing the other one. Now, you've noticed this last month, we were doing supersets where we are matching up similar exercises, and you know how that can challenge you. This month, we're going to move away from that because I want you to focus on one exercise at a time and really challenge yourself on that single exercise to get the most out of it. So you don't have to stay with the order they're listed, but make sure you're alternating from upper body to lower body to give yourself a little more time to recover there. So we got those 4. We're going to work 2 to 3 sets. Some days, some of you might have enough time to work a 4th set of these. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. You obviously don't have to. You just want to base it on, did I work a weight that was challenging for 8 to 10 reps, and did I get 2 to 3 good sets of that in? And if you want to get another one in, feel free to. Otherwise, you can move on to that finisher or give yourself some time to recover.